Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, February 7th, 2012. Big fallout from those two massive earthquakes in the Philippines yesterday. At least 90 people are either dead or missing. An initial tsunami warning was later canceled. Government officials say that at least 15 people were killed outright by the 6.9 magnitude quake that hit the narrow strait separating Negros and Cebu Islands. Cebu Island has a population center of the city of Cebu with over 2 million people. At least 75 other people are still missing. Many of them are buried by landslides. Government reported that 8 bridges are also out, potentially complicating rescue efforts. An aftershock of 6.4, 4 hours after the main strike, complicated issues immensely. Associated Press is reporting that an unknown group of people have been buried by a landslide, and emergency officials said we're now getting shovels and chainsaws to start a rescue because there are people trapped inside. Australian insurers have formally declared the flooding which inundated towns in southwest Queensland as the industry's first catastrophe of the year. The move comes at the same time as new data from the country's Weather Bureau says that Australia has now had its wettest 2-year period since records began. The CAT classification covers inundated communities such as St. George, which saw its 3,000 inhabitants evacuated yesterday as a levee bank struggled to hold back reported 45-foot high waters threatening to inundate the town. Lloyd's Amlin Insurance has joined the growing group of companies raising their prices as the knock-on effect from last year's natural disasters hits. They indicate that they're seeing a catastrophe reinsurance business written in London and Bermuda increase by an average of 15.9%. They also gave some updates on some other events. They said the total industry insured cost for the Thai floods may now be as high as £20 billion. They also said that the industry loss for the Costa Concordia, the Italian ship that sank, is now expected in excess of £1 billion. For the year, Aspen Insurance Holdings is reporting a net loss of about an operating loss of $66 million. This is against a $260 million profit last year. Partner Re also slid to a full-year loss. This is after a $1.8 billion cat loss smashed its bottom line. The rating agency AM Best is saying that the U.S. property cat industry has deteriorated sharply last year, suffering its worst underwriting loss since 2002. They said that losses both in the U.S. and abroad were more than double those reported in 2010. And the new head of Germany's financial watchdog, the BaFin, has added her voice to doubts whether the Solvency II timetable can now be met. Elke Koenig said that the BaFin will be using its voice within the EIOPA, the European Supervisory Office, to call for a reduction in complexity. She said, from our point of view, Solvency II can and must be improved. Insiders are now saying that the delay will mean a date of 2015-2016 rather than the previously planned for implementation in 2013-2014. And here's the interesting story. In the third largest city in Brazil, 2.5 million people in it, the city of Salvador, about 1,000 policemen are striking by occupying the legislature in the city. The building is surrounded by soldiers. There's a crime wave in effect. The police are demanding better pay and better working conditions. Since the strike began 6 days ago, 95 murders have occurred in and around the city. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has arrived in Damascus, Syria. Robots hired by the Assad regime are cheering his arrival. He comes after the Italians, the Americans, the Belgians, the British, and the Danes have closed their embassies. There was another explosion in a Syrian pipeline. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching.